Hey guys, this is Hee-Haw with Dark Moon Cards and Games. Back today with another look at a deck, or I guess maybe more really a mechanic for a deck. And then we'll have some games there as well. And this one is all about Rose. I guess while in reality I'm probably somewhere between maybe the Pokemon Hiker and Tierno. I think deep down I wish I really had Rose's style, but I am what I am. You just have to take the cards you're dealt sometimes, I guess. I've gone through a variety of builds to get to what we're going to look at today, starting with trying to figure out a way to maximize the effectiveness of the card Rose. And of course that began with trying to pair that with that stadium card Rose Tower, and I will save y'all seeing the process that I went through there to see that those two just don't really seem to work that well together. Obviously Rose is meant to function with the VMAXs. And I tried very similar builds to the one you'll see today. I tried it with Toxtricity, with Grimmsnarl. Settled on this one because this was the one that seemed to work best. The other two, at least that I mentioned, Grimmsnarl is dependent on having 2 extra energies attached to it beyond its 3 energy attack cost, and Toxtricity needs that poison condition to fit in there as well, so there's just too many things to really make those decks work. So we settled on Stonjourner VMAX. Let's open this guy and get the deck list open here. Stonjourner VMAX, as at least what he looks like to me, and what I like to call him, is the Stay Puffed Marshmallow Rock. I don't know why this guy reminds me of the Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters, but that's just the first thing I thought of when I saw this character, and can't get that image out of my head, so that's just how I associate this guy. Really solid Pokemon, 330 HP, has a built-in healing attack, Stone Gift. Attach an energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon, which means you can also attach to yourself and kind of accelerate that energy attachment and heal 120. So that can work pretty well with cards like Mallow and Lana, things like that, to really try to beat this guy up. Max Rockfall is 200 damage for 3 energies. Seems to be a 210 HP hump in the game right now with a lot of these Vs that are right there at that level. As I've played with this deck, hitting 200 seems to miss a lot of things. I think the deck still works pretty well. Let's look a little bit more at how it all is put together here. But what Rose does is he lets you attach 2 basic energy cards from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon VMAX. And then if you do that, you discard your hand. And that was where I thought maybe Rose Stadium, or the Rose Tower Stadium, would come into play. But what I found there is just that 3 cards is not enough to really give you any kind of consistency. So we went to what I think is the best way to make it work in a deck, and that is the Silvally GX, which I think is another one of these guys that seems to be forgotten. I don't see very many lists use this at all. I don't know if people just never really liked it, or have forgotten that it's in the format, or if I just think it's better than it is. But his Disc Reload ability lets you draw until you have 5 cards in your hand, so it's just like the old Octillery that was popular in the Buzzwole GX deck. It has an attack, Brave Buddies 50, it does 70 more, so 120 if you played a supporter card from your hand during this turn. I have used that in some games, but it is not really ideal. And of course, has a GX move that you can use. Just a straight knockout on something that's an Ultra Beast. There's Buzzwole, Pheromosa, and maybe Naganadel Guzzlord. I'm not sure if there's any others off the top of my head that are even in the format at this point. But I'm going to go with 3 of the Type Null. There's a couple Type Nulls I think that are legal for play. I don't see any real difference on any of those. I went with the 1 retreat cost one. A 3 Silvally GX line. The 4-3 Stonjourner seems to be a little bit heavy. A lot of times I end up with extra Stonjourner that you really never use. You really just want to set up 2 Stonjourner VMAX in this, but he's not bad. I think that's why I stayed with 4 on this one, is because you do like to start with him. He's not bad to start with. You can guard press, and that can buy you a little bit of time. That basically makes him 240, and it does a little bit of chip damage and starts wearing down your opponent. So at least the version I like of this deck so far has 4 in it. I think that's the best way to play it. Went with a 3 Stonjourner VMAX. You can max that out at 4, I guess, just to make sure that you don't prize any. 3 seems to work okay. very often you prize at least one. I prized two a couple times, but you can usually drive deep enough with one of these to get into your prize cards and get the other one out. So again, that's kind of optional. 2 Dedenne just for draw support there. A lot of items in this. One with 4 Great Ball. So I like the Great Ball because it lets you hit your Sylvales and any of your Stonjourner line. 1 Pal Pad, threw that guy in just because of research, playing the 4 research line and playing the Rose where you do have to discard your hand. A lot of times you might have to toss Mala and Lana, Boss's Orders, things like that. So Pal Pad to put stuff back in. Pretty much Poke Gear in here is just what I've started doing in these decks to replace Jirachi. Jirachi Skateboard would be amazing in this, but we don't have a skateboard, and then you get into this whole dynamic of Jirachi being in the way and having to play scoop up nets to use him, and I've started to just kind of get away from Jirachi. I think most decks where I would play Jirachi in the past, I'm just going to be playing Poke Gear. It just seems to work better. Kept 2 communications because you do have, let's see, 15 Pokemon. So that gives you the option to swap around extra that you have in your hand and get exactly what you want. Of course, 4 Quick Balls, standard, 1 reset stamp, 2 Switch. The Switch, thought about changing that count around. Also thought about changing the Mallow and Lala line. But right now that gives you 4 Switch cards. Thought about maybe making it more Switch and then maybe playing Hyper Potion. But right now that's the way I've been playing it. Haven't had a chance to really test it the other way. And this is the only really damage booster that I have in here. Martial Arts Dojo does get you to 210. You get it in play, and if you fall behind, then it lets you do 40 more damage. So it makes the maximum damage output from Stonjourner VMAX up to 240. Again, that's still in that 2-hit range. So as I've said before in some previous videos, once you're in that ballpark of 200, I don't think it matters a lot whether you do 210, 190, 240. It's still going to be 2 hits on most things. 2 Boss's Orders, 2 Mallow and Lana, played 1 Marnie. Again, a 4 research line, 3 Rose. The 3 Rose seems to work good with the Pal Pad though. Other inclusion in here, again, this could be something like Vitality Band. I went with the Billowing Smoke, because you do try to tank this guy and heal him. Try to really make people earn the knockout on him. And to me, it seemed like just when somebody does actually get to that point, they can knock out a Stonjourner VMAX. Making them take their 3 prize cards and immediately throw them away, to me, seemed hilarious. I don't know. Maybe it's not as good an idea. This is easily interchangeable with Vitality Band or Big Charm. I just like the idea of them taking those 3 prize cards and just having to toss them. Again, it's probably 6 one way, half a dozen the other. Anyway, you really play that. And then 12 Fighting Energy. Rose seems to really work in 2 ways for me in this thing. You can use it early to try to speed up energy attachments to it. That doesn't happen quite as often. It really is more of a recovery card for me, the way I play the deck anyway. I guess to elaborate on that a little bit more, the way I like to play this thing. Stonjourner, despite the fact that he's kind of a big bulky guy, does only have a 3 energy retreat cost. But what I end up doing in this thing a lot is playing it back and forth and actually paying the retreat cost from Stonjourner and just sending up a fresh one. And that gives you the option to just toss those energies. And then when you're ready, if you want to send back up the same guy and fight with him, or if you ended up healing him with the other Stonjourner, you want to recharge him that way, you can send him back up attached from your hand, play Rose, reattach 2, and be right back in business. But I like the combo. It's a fun deck to play around with. We'll get into some games here, play a couple, and see if we can show a little bit more what our friendly Stony Marshmallow friend will do here. So this is actually going to be my first time playing Logan over distance, as he is down in Charlottesville at UVA at the moment, and this might be a bad matchup for him there. Yeah, we'll have to coordinate our maybe our game a little bit better next time, so we're not playing fighting against Electric, but we'll see if he can string something together. say you're definitely got me in a position where I am bound to whatever I top draw at this point. Guess I can spam guard press for as long as I can hold out, but that's about all I've got until we get something better in hand. Gonna go for the boss's order stall, which is kind of about what I was thinking I would do. Well, that's one way to get out of it. I think we want to attach here just so we can retreat in case we miss a way to, because we definitely want to get to Silt Valley. Wow, that's not good. I'm retreating manually, even though I do have the switch in hand, because I want to get some in there for Rose. That being, if we can ever get to a Stonjourner VMAX. And I think spanning guard press is really the only thing to do. Trying to get 3 energies on Stonjourner for the 150. It's probably going to be a waste of resources there. There goes my billowing smoke. Forget the names of all this new stuff. Just with the guard press protecting 20 at 240, I'm pretty safe for right now, unless we get to Toxtricity VMAX, which of course he can finish me off pretty quickly. Only 1 rose down, so I think we're going to go down here and then just dig. I'm going to throw away a lot of good stuff here early. I guess at this point I could burn the rest of the research that I have. How many energy do we have in here? Got 2 is all you need for Rose. Don't know that we want to go that route. I think, I guess since we have the type advantage here, we'll go ahead and be aggressive on a silly level, which is starting to worry me that I don't have any Stonjourner VMAX available at all, because I can't get one in hand. Down 2 bosses, all of my research. What are we looking at here? There's the stadium to go with my Rose. The Dance of the Ancients off to get 2 back in. I'd say we're definitely getting into the range of Bolton V being able to wipe that out. 260. I can drop that down by 60 and then protect with guard press. I think be safe again. Don't see digging anymore at this point, so let's see if we can slow him down a little bit here with Marnie. Wish I had the bosses now, because with Martial Arts Dojo, I'm adding 40 more. Let's go ahead and do that. check out and see what we get. We really not in good position here at all. Electricity VMAX gets rolling here, then guard press or no guard press, I think we will get knocked out. Yeah, we definitely will get knocked out. Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 210. He can get one more down, and we will just barely survive that. I'm starting to wonder if Trubbish, yeah, and actually get that extra 10 damage from the poison from Guard Boater as well. So that's a basic, basically 250. I'm already away my Stonjourner V that I had to go through 34 cards to get in hand, but we live. I think we're in good shape. 230. I counted that wrong. I think we're in trouble. I don't see a way out of this one. Grab that type null and see if we can figure out a way to get maybe swapped back to him. Let's take advantage of the stadium first. I really don't want to throw away my which may be my only Stonjourner VMAX. I'm not really getting much of a chance to search here and see if I've got one. I've got 2 chances on disc reload, so see what we got. We'll send up to type null to die a horrible death. Love a stamp right here. I'll put the smoke on there just because I think we're just gonna hold. He's got bosses, he's got it, and if not, then we live. Gotta be a bosses in that hand somewhere. Not playing down though, so. Ooh, there's the research. We are still in it. Not by much, but we are still in it. Wow. Oh, come on. Well, almost what I had. Gonna have to rose this turn, so let's see if we can get that in hand. We can put a couple back in with Pal Pad. So let's evolve there. Only got 1 rose in the discard pile. So let's put in a bosses in a Mallow Lana, maybe. We might have to. I think I've still got 1 bosses left. Let's go Mallow Lana and Rose. We have to hit that rose this turn or this game is done. You're going to just get rid of this communication. Get the Dene back. Let's take advantage of that stadium. There's our rose. It's actually not bad because it won't cost us anything but a Dene. You get 2 disc reloads to try to come back here. Really like to see a stamp. There's the stamp. Let's play that. Actually, I was thinking I might not use that, but I think I want that in hand as well. Come on, stamp. No stamp. A rose prize there, looks like, as well, and a Stonjourner. Kind of back in that same spot, I guess. Bosses wins the game. Or are we going to get paralyzed? Just maybe thinning a little bit here as well, trying to hit that boss. Boss or no boss? There he is. I see 6, 7 in play, 2, 10 is enough to get just about everybody that I have. That's an awesome win from Logan, fighting against his weakness. Slow start out of the gates for us as well. Almost came back and pulled that one off. That's the way to go. This is another one of those cases with this deck where don't know always whether to go first or second with it because there is so much evolving. Not so much, but there's basically everybody in here evolves. So I'd like to get a head start on that. Martial Arts Dojo might not be something I want to play down, honestly. I think this is Colossal again. Sandaconda, it'll give him a little bit more damage output. And I am definitely going to be trying to tank this Stonjourner, so not sure I want to play that one. Not much else I can really do this turn. I think it'd be pretty hard pressed to knock that guy out. I'm just going to leave him there so I don't get trapped again with bosses after I pay a retreat cost on him. I guess he took care of that problem for us. So let's retreat. Send up a Rocky. And gonna have to count on Pal Pad coming into play later. There it is. We definitely want to hit that on one of our next couple of turns. Probably should have played that Great Ball first, but oh well. Let's go one each on those guys. See if we can find our big guy. New. Second type null is acceptable though, because we'd definitely like to get 2 Cell Valleys rolling. We are going to get there one way or the other. There he is. And let's just Stone Gift to ourselves. Get that attack set up. Ninetales stays in that range that we can't hit. And of course with Martial Arts Dojo, that pushes us to 210. Mallow. I love seeing cards like that mixed in, but Mallow's actually pretty good in this. Especially in a Colossal deck, being able to toss some energies and draw 4 is a pretty good combo. You play around with variants of this as well with without Colossal. Just make it like a welder-based type deck. Not really quite as good. It's more of a Ninetales based deck when you do that. Maybe play Heat Train in it, but it is fun to play. Don't think I need a third Sil Valley, so kind of wish I could toss that type null, honestly. This morning we just really want an energy right here is all we need. At this point we just start trying to tank these big guys, and then keeping them alive. Let's see if we can get him this time. There's one. The energy count in the deck too just, I know it doesn't seem high, but it really becomes kind of crazy high. You consider all your reattachments with Rose, if you can keep from throwing Roses away. Right now I've only got one in the discard pile, so we're in pretty good shape there. Anaconda is 220. Yeah, obviously pre-rotation decks, versions of this had Diancie in it, Diancie Prism Star, which would let you hit that kind of number, let you get to 230. But really at this point I think this is a 2-hit format. So Stonjourner is right in that middle ground at 200. As long as your opponent does not get a Mallow and Lana play off, then you get the 2 hits on basically anything. Plus I do like the fighting type because there's a lot that's weak to that right now that is popular. The Stonjourner VMAX goes down to this thing and cannot one-shot it. They can get pretty close with all the zigzagoons and scoop up nets and all that good stuff. What we have to be careful of is getting in range of this guy. He gets an extra 50, I believe it is. Extra 40. That is a 260. And that is, I think, actually exactly what that hits. So we gotta be careful of that. We can't take it out either, which is definitely not good. Got 1 energy in the discard. That's a lot of stuff to throw away. I think the way we go here is just, let's get the prize knockouts. I don't see a way to try to pull off any kind of crazy Rose combo right now without throwing away just too much, so let's take our knockout, get us down to 2, and then we'll just try to finish it up with the last Stonjourner. There's that billowing smoke, too late. 4 cards in hand. It'd be so awesome to have that tool down. He takes his 3 prize knockout to have to just toss all 3 cards. But and of course, you could go Big Charm for that spot. I don't think that it's a huge difference either way between Tool Scrapper and things that can hit basically 360 in 2 shots, which is what Tool Scrapper what Big Charm gives you. Sand Breath gets us exactly, I think that was. Now we have to play the 2-shot game. So we will attach to our Stonjourner V. Really, the only thing there in that hand that I really don't want to lose is that Mallow and Lana. I think we still got one in the deck. We used our PAL pad, so this is the driving engine behind there, so let's use it. That's why we built it. Definitely take that stamp. Give us a look at what we have. I don't want to put that Dedenne down, so we're going to leave him in the deck. There's some protection for that one. Just missing that guy by 10. I guess, of course, I'm not going to plan a deck build around being able to take out Sandaconda V. I guess the other thing you could do is do that exactly what he just played. You could put that Vitality Band in there. Marnie, especially with 2 Sylvallies in play, does not hurt. Even if he gets a Sylvallie, yeah, we just got the knockout on the next turn. He retreats to another one, I guess we'll see. That becomes definitely more challenging if he hits and runs. See if we can get to boss. I have 1 in the discard, so that is an option. Of course, that martial arts dojo definitely helps out on that first energy, 1 energy Sand Eater attack. Do that. I don't think we need to switch. There's our boss. $13 tries, 13 cards to get it. Let's get 3 of those guys out of the way. There he is. there is the bit of a win there with Stonjourner V. Alrighty then, lesson learned, I think, by watching those two games. Big Charm would have saved knockouts in both games. As much as I love the billowing smoke, I think that's the first immediate change I'm looking at, is to drop those two for Big Charms. The other thing that stands out over both games is I never played Mallow and Lana for the healing effect. I just use it to switch one time. I think it's just because you have to use your other supporters. So I think it's definitely a good move to drop those as well. I think I would do those both for Hyper Potions. And because you're losing a switch card, either add a switch for a Great Ball or a Pokegear. That's definitely something that you can play around with and just see how those changes work. Outside of that, I think this list is definitely cooking with gas. I hope you enjoyed the look at the deck and enjoyed the games. This has been Hee-Haw with Dark Moon Cards and Games. Be not afraid. Later.